circuits and stuff, I gain muscle really fast. So that's good. So anyway, I'm going to be doing that. But I highly recommend the P90X3 program. I did the P90X1, the regular classic version, the main one, from a few years ago, and it was so long and boring and drawn out. I did it, but it was so boring, and it took forever. So on this one, you actually do 30 minutes per workout, which is really fast. But it's a very, very intense workout. So, and what I did is that when I finished, I said, I'll just go back and do the P90X, the first one again, since I finished P90X3. And I went back to do P90X, just the regular one, and it was so fucking slow, and I didn't get anything out of it. It was just like so not intense compared to what I've been doing. So I can't even do it. It doesn't matter to me. And before, the regular P90X was like so intense that I was like dying every time, after an hour or whatever. But now it's nothing. So P90X3 is it for me right now. I'm trying to find a different program to go on to. There are 3 additional discs that come with it, but I'm going to, that I ordered that come with it. They're extreme discs, whatever they call the Elite Block or something. And so I'm going to do those now and do the weightlifting instead of the weight loss one and see how that works out. But we'll see. But I'll let you know what happens. And I've been wanting to get new sunglasses. I have had the same sunglasses. I bought them at the Sunglass Hut like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. I guess about 5 years ago. And they're Prada, and they're big. They're like huge. They're guys sunglasses, but they're like huge sunglasses. Like on your face, like they cover my eyebrow and all the way up above my eyebrow and way down to my cheekbone. I mean, they're really huge. They don't look like women's sunglasses, but they're just really big for a guy. And they're just kind of out of style now. So I'm trying to find something like newer sunglasses, something more urban and contemporary. And I found these really cool wood sunglasses on touchofmodern.com they're all wood. And like made from real wood, and they're kind of like 1950s style, 60s type sunglasses that you would have found the same kind of style then, I like them a lot. So I'm thinking about doing those, but I'm not sure I'm going to, but we'll see what happens. But they are really cool. But I'm trying to find, I'm trying to like my style. I'm trying to make it a little more current, because for me, it's not that I look bad when I dress. I dress just fine. I know how to dress and everything. I mean, I look classic, whatever. But I'm trying to get out of a rut. I keep wearing the same stuff, like the same. My thing is like black polos. I wear a lot of black polos. I have like a whole closet full of black polos. Okay, I just have a thing for black polos in the summer, and in the winter, I have a lot of black long sleeve shirts and sweaters and cardigans and stuff like that. I love the color black on me. It looks really good on me. I mean, most people look good in black, but for some reason it just looks especially good on me, I've been told, and I agree with that. And so I've always worn a lot of black, and I have a lot of blue in my closet. I've said this before. My closet looks like a big bruise. It's black and blue. But I've been lately, in the past year or so, I've been really infusing more color into my wardrobe. So I've been doing more like reds and oranges and yellows and turquoises and teal, and I mean all kinds of colors. Just kind of pops of color, and especially in my socks. I've been doing a lot of really cool colors in my socks. And by the way, that's one place where, as a man, we can really show style is our socks. And it's only been the past few years that's been a trend, and I caught on to it because I'm part of the Trunk Club. Another thing, it's one of my favorite things, by the way, I've talked about on the show before. And so my stylist had introduced me to some really cool socks. When I first saw them, they were all these different colors and stripes and patterns. So I was like, what the fuck? And so, but I started wearing them, and I really enjoy that, because before I was just wearing regular black socks or white socks, which looks really bad, of course, unless you're working out or something, I guess. But anyway, so I really kind of upped my game on that style wise. And so I think you should too. If you're a guy, definitely that's one place you can kind of show your style and your personality is your socks. And then your shoes. Oh, and then I ordered these really cool shoes. That's one other thing. These really cool boots from a company called Commune, they were $300 something. I got for $135, and they were all leather, and I mean all leather and handmade. Okay, they weren't just leather, but they were handmade and hand stretched and everything else. Really nice boots. And so I ordered them, and I got them in the mail. And when I got them out of the box, the fucking boots had been worn. I'm not kidding. This is the second time this has happened to me. One time it happened with me through Trunk Club. I ordered these they were boots. No, they were these shoes through Trunk Club, and they sent me these shoes, and they were worn as shit. Okay, like totally worn. Like the bottom of the soles were all fucking scraped up. The front was all flappy and shit, and they were probably like 5 years old. Okay, and I was like, what the fuck? And so I told my stylist, I said, you sent me the wrong shoes. She's like, what do you mean? I said, they've been worn. She's like, oh, they're supposed to look like that. I was like, no, they're not. And so I showed her a picture. I was just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And so I sent them back, and they didn't charge me for them. They actually gave me a free $400 cardigan, this really cool navy blue cardigan I love. It's really, really cozy and warm. And play because I ordered other things as well. And she said I could get the shoes, which were the same price, or I could get the cardigan. She gave me the cardigan as a I'm sorry to that. But anyway, my point is these other boots I got, they actually came in and they were the same thing. They weren't as worn as the other ones were. But they had scuffs on the front and the leather was all ripped up and shit. And so I sent those back. But the weird thing is the company, Touch of Modern, actually told me that I did not. They said, okay, and the other shirt, when I told you there's two shirts I ordered, well, one of the ones I kept, the other one I sent back. I was going to send back, and I said I wanted a refund for or store credit. And they said, okay, we've issued your store credit. Don't worry about sending us back the shirt. And so I got to keep this shirt I can't even wear. So I think I'm going to give it to my nephew for Christmas or something this year. He's real skinny and he can probably wear it because I don't know what to do with it. But if you're like the size of a fucking 12-year-old boy, oh no, make that an 8-year-old boy, and you want a really cool Italian shirt that's really cool, let me know. Maybe you can have it. I can send it to you. Anyway, I think that's all I have to talk about tonight. I just wanted to come out and purge my brain on the Brain Purge show this week. I'm trying to think if there's anything else before I go. I'm sure every time I do a Brain Purge show, I'm like, fuck, I should talk about that, or fuck, I should talk about this, and I always forget. But I can't think. I watched one more thing. I was watching the entire show, the entire series, Oz. I started watching it a couple weeks ago. I just finished it, the last episode last night or the night before last. And it's a really, really crazy show because, it obviously it chronicles, if you don't know, men in prison, in a maximum security prison, or sort of maximum security prison. And there are all kinds of guys in there, straight, gay, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, everything, and murderers and people who didn't do much of anything. And so it's a very, very good show. But I was thinking about what I would do if I ever ended up in prison. And I swear to God, there's no fucking way I would ever survive. And the reason is because in that kind of a prison, in maximum security, whenever you have these horrible offenders, rapists and murderers and, whatever. So hopefully I wouldn't end up in that kind of prison anyway. Hopefully it would be, if I ended up in one, it would be some sort of a resort style one like Martha Stewart went to, But anyway, if I did somehow end up in the maximum security prison someday, then I would not survive because you have to be somebody's bitch, or you have to be the aggressor and kill somebody to survive. Well, first of all, I'm not going to kill anybody unless it's self-defense. I'm not a killer. I'm just not. I don't want to kill a fucking spider when I see it, unless, if I don't have to. Now, other pests I would, but anyway. So I wouldn't be able to kill anybody unless I had to. And sometimes they'd give you orders to kill somebody else if you want to be part of the gang or whatever. And that's the other thing. Since I'm biracial and gay, first of all, I have to be with the gay group or the other group, as they talked about it in Oz. And I couldn't be with the Aryans because I'm half black, and I couldn't be with the Muslim blacks because I'm half white. So I'd have to be off on some other little island of biracial people or something. So that's another reason I wouldn't survive. That, and plus I'm gay and everything else. And the main reason I wouldn't survive is because I don't take shit from people. And even if my own fucking life depended on it, somebody tells me to do something I don't want to do, I'm like, fuck you. I would totally get shanked. I would totally get shanked and totally get fucking murdered. I know I would. And I'm not going to be somebody's bitch unless I'm actually attracted to them. So that's not going to happen. So anyway, that's Oz. But it was a good show. Chris Maloney on there is so gorgeous and totally hot. And the guy that played Beecher on there, who was in love with him, that was a whole cool relationship. Really fucked up relationship, but interesting. And they had, what's his name? Brian Bloom was on there for an episode. Gorgeous, man. There's lots of penis on that show too. If you want to see penis, you can watch Oz. There's tons of it on that show. Very unabashed nudity there. So if you're into penis, you can watch Oz. Anyway, that's all I have to say for tonight. I want to thank you for listening. I'll be back when I have time to do a show. Next time should be Gay Mass, and I appreciate you listening. Good night.